So the Friday injury report, which is really Thursday again because they play on Saturday, looks as it does up on the screen. Beat reporters, just to give you a fresh, up-to-date look here, tweeted out at the start of the show, Sarah, that Rashod Bateman, who is on this list and was a limited participant in Thursday, was not seen at Friday's practice. So that is obviously notable.
He's going downhill then. He practiced
Yes.
and he's limited and not there today.
Yes. And again, this is a foot designation for Rashod, which forced him to be limited on Thursday, which this should actually be Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I wonder if they know that. They put out an injury report that has the days off, but whatever. In their world, it's not far off, right? So anyway, long story short, Bateman probably, when the injury report comes out around 4:00 Eastern later this afternoon, could potentially be listed as a DNP based on what beat reporters are sharing. Other than that, Justice Hill was back after a personal day, and Adafe Owe was also practicing after being limited on Wednesday. So the injury report should look pretty good in terms of the length. Nelson Aguilar was seen on a practice field, by the way, off to the side. So maybe he's working his way out of protocol. Yeah. But the big one is here, obviously, if Bate were to go down, then and Pickens is down on the other side, that's notable for both teams.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the list did get a lot longer between Tuesday to Wednesday. But most of them were just like guys that were limited. But that Rashod Bateman news is huge. And again, man, opportunities missed by Deontay Johnson on this, but I know nobody wants me to bring that back up.
Yeah.
So, and then Nelson, if he's not cleared, everybody's wish to get more Devontae Walker very well might come true.
Yep.
But we'll see with Bateman. I don't know. It's maybe he did something on Tuesday. And they're like, all right, let's take it easy Thursday. And maybe they're being cautious. But it would be bad if Bateman and Aguilar weren't ready. Now,
no question.
Likely would have to step up, obviously, a little Devontae Walker. But that would be bad. So hopefully they're being cautious with Bateman and he'll be out there. And that's the other thing that's so crazy that they were saying this with Nelson and Rashod when at the beginning of the show, we talked about how Tomlin will be daring Lamar to win through the air.
Exactly.
And Rashod could be gone.
It's all interconnected. And one note here on Nelly, he did not practice, just to be clear.
Yeah.
But worked off to the side.
Which is not practicing.
Yes.
Right. You'll see guys on IR doing that all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the note there. Jalen Armour Davis did not practice as well. Be on the lookout 4:00 Eastern or so as I hear jostling around what feels like is in my house. Give me 1 second here.
What? Put your hand down. You're covering your face.
Sorry. Why?
You think somebody's in your house?
Why is it so loud down there?
You got cameras down there?
No, but my neighbor just texted me too.
Do you want me to keep moving while you check into that?
I think we're okay.
Okay.
But
all right.
That was weird. Pittsburgh. Hey, you guys want to see me throw hands?
Yeah.
From the Pittsburgh perspective, a lot more notable, being that Pickens has missed the last couple of games for the Steelers, and is trending towards not playing. Brooke Pryor, our guest tomorrow, just tweeted out 2 minutes ago that he did most of his work off solo today. And let me just pull up video and I'll actually.
Who is this? George Pickens?
Yeah. George is not padded. And here he is going sideline to sideline, running at about maybe 60-70% speed. So that kind of feels like it's similar to the Nelly situation. Like he's off to the side.
Right.
But he doesn't look like he's laboring, but he also is far from running 100% in this video that Brooke just posted a minute ago. So
are you going to play it?
Oh, well, I haven't.
No, you don't have to. I just thought that you were about to. I thought you were going to share your screen.
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
Oh, okay.
Why don't we do that? I just need a second. And TJ Watt obviously is another one that looks to be trending towards playing, but obviously if he can't is super notable.
Yeah.
And same with Deshaun Elliott. He's been a DNP all week long so far. And yet I almost don't want to make too much of these DNPs if it's not like a Pickens or a Watt, just because of the 3-game and 11-day stretch that they're all on.
Sure.
And some of these guys are veterans, you know?
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
So you see what I mean? Like Pickens
Yeah.
is not like it's like 60, 70%. I don't know, if that.
Right.
And there's nothing that shows you that he's laboring with a hamstring, but
Right. No,
it's
he's
from Brooke.
definitely jogging there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a full out sprint for me, but he's jogging.
For Monken too.
Yeah. Monken, that was funny because like he's like chugging his arms and like not moving as fast as his players. But I would be somewhat like I expect TJ to be out there. I'd be a little bit surprised if Pickens was because they have the same schedule the Ravens have,
Yeah.
which is 2 games in. Depends on how you want to count it, 4 or 5 days. If you go from when it's over, I count 4 days.
Yep.
I'd be a little bit surprised that they'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna push it this week," knowing that we have the Chiefs again 4 days later.
Right. As much as they
know?
want to capture the division, it's like we need this guy for a run.
Right,
Like
exactly.
our offense becomes one-dimensional without him. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like who's Russ linking up with moonballs
Here's a
for?
question for you
Yeah.
in chat. Which player which player's absence would have a bigger impact on the game? Pickens or what?
Watt.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think Watt. No
Yeah.
questions asked. Yeah.
Because I think when I watched Tre'Davious White and also like I'm feeling good about Wiggins, as long as Brandon Stevens isn't on George Pickens, I feel like
Yeah.
the Ravens could limit him. But TJ Watt, like him coming around the edge of Roger Rosengarten and trying to like sack strip Lamar from behind, that'd be rough.
This is a guy, Pickens, that had 8 for 89 on 12 targets. He was far and away Russ's number one guy the first time these two teams played.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, the next closest was Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, which were checkdowns. They each had 4 receptions apiece for 30 and 27 yards, respectively. And then
Mm-hmm.
Darnell Washington, I think he's their tight end, one of their tight ends with Freiermuth. He went 2 for 42. So clearly there was a big drop off after Pickens in terms of like who Russ likes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that like from a moonball perspective, which is Russ's calling card, outside Pickens, there's a drop off.
Yep.
So, by the way, as promised, John Harbaugh is at the podium right now, and of course has nothing to say or report on when it comes to Bateman or any other injury status for that matter, and deferred reporters to the injury report, which will come out after 4.
But you see
And the
that I'm
fact that
right.
I'm sorry?
You saw that I was right.
Regarding?
Jameson Hensley just reported 29 seconds ago, John Harbaugh said he came up with the play that led to Devontae Walker's TD catch.
Oh.
People were telling me I was making the wrong assumption, but
you read that
I'm like,
situation.
why else would you call it after Harbs if he didn't come up with it?
You're a processor. That's what you are.
Now.
Well
me
done.
and Roquan.
Well done.
Would you say I'm an elite processor? You said that about Roquan.
Listen now, small track record, small sample size. We're
Okay.
not going to jump to those conclusions. All right.
Fair enough.
Give her an inch and she takes a mile, audience. I mean, come on, man.
I said I was competitive. I want to be right there with Roquan.
Nobody is disputing the competitive gene, right, folks? Right, Flock? I sure am not. Hey, not to abruptly shift gears, but this is an important note on Bateman that reporters have just tweeted out that he has a boot on. It's severe enough.
Oh, no.
Rashod Bateman has a boot on his foot in the locker room, according to beat reporters on the scene. So Harbaugh obviously wouldn't talk about it. He's probably going to be listed as a DNP today. And that's where things stand right now with Bateman. And Sarah, it's even more notable because if Nelson Agholor continues to be in concussion protocol, which Harbaugh was asked about that directly, saying that he does have enough time to clear protocol. But if he doesn't, for whatever reason, over the next 48 hours, the Ravens could be looking at a situation where they're down I don't want to say 2 of their top because Nelly's not a top wide receiver, but 2 and 3 when you look at snap count. They're second and third wide receivers.
Not all the time, but the vast majority of the time, if somebody has a boot on, that is a bad, 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 bad sign. There was somebody else actually earlier this year that had a boot on, but it was just precautionary. It was Marlon Humphrey. Remember?
Okay. And then it
Because I
was,
remember him
I was
doing
thinking
an
of Mollett.
I remember him doing an IG live, and then I grabbed a screen grab because he got the camera down, and then I saw his boot.
I was thinking of Mollett, but yeah, you're right. Both,
Oh,
I
maybe
think
there's one with him too.
both situations stand. So,
But I think the
um,
boot in conjunction with, uh, him suddenly being limited and then suddenly DNP isn't the greatest thing. Hopefully, they're able to talk to him, but Bobby, this is massive. This is like, again, I think the Ravens overall are more talented and can score more than the Steelers, but Bateman's been your deep play threat, and he's finally got that chemistry with Lamar, and, I mean, Zay will get lots of looks, um, but he's the one that's been taking the top off the defense, and they have to respect him. They have to respect him and what he's been doing. And, like, you can put Devontae's in there, and he'll stretch the field, he'll have his speed, but to pretend that Devontae's
no.
in his rookie year can do what it took years for Bateman to get done. I know he's been working through injuries, but the chemistry that in him and Lamar, it's been taking a minute.
Yeah, there's a reason why Tez was inactive 8 games leading into week 15. I mean, it's just he's raw. He's a
Yeah.
rookie, and it was a
And he didn't
crowded
get a
room.
lot of college time, remember? Because he was
The eligibility issue at
Yeah.
UNC, and then he had a tear his second half of the year, to his credit, after being activated and whatnot. But you gotta wonder, what a shame. You gotta wonder when this flared up. I mean, was this a practice thing? Was this a
It could have
post
happened
game
in
thing?
practice. Because think about it. Remember, okay, so he finished the game, right? He finished the game against the Giants. He was trolled by that Giants fan, seemed to be perfectly fine, had no boot on then. And then he's full practice on the days are all mixed up this week.
Well,
Full
Tuesday.
practice on Tuesday,
Tuesday.
and then limited Wednesday, and then out today, and then a boot. You would think that something happened in practice.
That's a shame.
That's my guess.
You may wanna get
Now
Odell on the line, and I tell you what, too.
That's right, you better get Odell on the line.
Get Odell on the line first and foremost, but 2, just to reiterate, you talk about a missed opportunity for Deontay Johnson. I mean, this is like literally, it couldn't have been like the road was paved had he just been within conduct and just done what was asked of him, even though he was upset about it, his role. He'd be looking at an opportunity potentially going into a gotta have it game for the division against his former team in the Fox 430 window to be wide receiver 2. Unbelievable.
Can you imagine if Deontay had just gone into that game for the Eagles, the opportunities he would have had? So I agree with you, you get OBJ on the line. I don't know, do the Ravens go back to Deontay? Is Deontay still angry and he still wants to do what he did in the Eagles? But listen, I can see the chat saying, OBJ, obviously he's not the OBJ that he was, but I would feel much more comfortable, especially if Nelson Aguilar's down. Are you telling me, are you comfortable with Devontae Walker starting? Not me. But
No.
but even if you get OBJ on the line, he's not going to be ready for this game.
Nope. So
And it would be tough to have to be ready Christmas Day a few days later.
Deontay just fumbled this, man. He fumbled this. And who knows? Like you said, who
Maybe
knows?
maybe they say, let's put this behind us. We need a receiver. You need an opportunity. Do we want to do this? Yes or no?
That would be one of the most.
And we haven't even mentioned Tylan Wallace. He could be a part of the equation.